My wife collapsed at the moment. Her head slammed against the floor. I begged my son-in-law to help. Instead, he stood there smiling. He said it was only an accident. My first call was to 911. My second call was 4 words that changed his life forever. Activate our plan. 48 hours later, he had lost his job, his marriage, his reputation, and every dollar he thought he would inherit. What he never knew was that we had been preparing for this day for months. My name is Graham Whitmore. I am 66 years old, and I spent my entire career building a successful construction company in Oregon. My wife Eleanor had always believed family came before everything. Even when people disappointed us, she searched for reasons to forgive them. Our daughter Claire married a man named Preston Hale 5 years ago. He was charming in public and polished around strangers. Everyone admired him, but inside our family, we noticed something different. He mocked elderly people. He loved humiliating others. He always smiled after hurting someone emotionally. Eleanor believed he would eventually mature. I never trusted him. A year before everything happened, we quietly changed our wills. We placed our assets into a family trust controlled by independent attorneys. Nobody except Eleanor and I knew the details. We also installed security cameras throughout our property after several valuables mysteriously disappeared during family gatherings. We never accused anyone because we wanted facts instead of arguments. One Saturday, we invited everyone for dinner. Preston arrived acting unusually friendly. He insisted on carrying dishes into the kitchen. Eleanor thanked him with a smile. As she walked across the hardwood floor carrying dessert, Preston suddenly stepped sideways. His foot caught hers. Eleanor crashed forward. Her head slammed into the edge of the kitchen island before she hit the floor. The sound still echoes in my mind. I dropped beside her. Blood began running across the floor. I shouted for Preston to call an ambulance. Instead, he laughed. He shrugged and said she should have watched where she was walking. Claire looked shocked but frozen. I called Diyoyoyo immediately. While waiting for paramedics, I remembered something our attorney once told me. If the person we suspected ever crossed a line from manipulation into physical harm, we should activate every legal protection immediately. I stepped into the hallway and made my second call. Activate our plan. That was all I said. The attorney understood exactly what it meant. Eleanor survived after emergency surgery. Doctors confirmed the injury could have been fatal if help had arrived a few minutes later. Meanwhile, our attorney downloaded every security recording from the house. The footage showed something impossible to deny. Preston looked directly at Eleanor before extending his leg into her path. After she fell, he smiled before pretending to panic. Police investigators watched the recording several times, but that was only the beginning. The trust documents immediately froze every inheritance Preston believed Claire would someday receive. Company ownership transferred completely outside the family. His access to investment accounts disappeared forever. Then our insurance investigators reviewed previous claims involving Preston. Patterns appeared. Broken property, missing jewelry, false accusations, suspicious financial requests. Every incident pointed toward calculated manipulation. His employer also learned about the investigation after local news requested a statement. Within 2 days, he was placed on leave. Claire finally watched the security footage herself. She cried for hours before quietly packing her belongings. She told me she finally understood every warning we had tried to give her. Police later charged Preston based on the evidence gathered during the investigation. He spent months fighting lawsuits. While paying legal fees he could no longer afford. The expensive car disappeared first, then his luxury apartment. Friends stopped answering his calls. People who once admired him wanted nothing to do with him. The man who laughed, while my wife lay bleeding, discovered something simple. One cruel moment can destroy an entire life built on lies. Eleanor eventually returned home after months of recovery. She still carries the scar across her forehead, but she also carries peace. She often says justice is not revenge. Justice is simply truth arriving at the right time. When someone laughs at another person's suffering, they reveal exactly who they are. Evidence speaks louder than anger. Lies may survive for a while, but the truth has remarkable patience. Preston believed one carefully planned accident would make him richer. Instead, it cost him everything he valued. If this story reminds you that character always matters more than appearances, then remember this. Never ignore small warning signs because they often protect you from much bigger tragedies.